Good morning, students. I welcome you all for the online session of business studies classes. Yeah, yesterday we have learnt about the fuels principle. Today we will be going to learn about the principle of scientific management, which is made by Hand Taylor. The full name of Taylor was Frederick Winslow Taylor. You can see the name Frederick Winslow Taylor. He was considered as father of scientific management because his principle was not based on theoretical aspect. His principle was made by deep observation and regular experiments. He had made four principles and 9 techniques. Techniques were helpful to achieve the management principles. We will later learn the techniques of management. Now we will be going to learn the 4 principles of scientific management made by Frederick Winslow Taylor. The very first principle was science not rule of thumb. The second was harmony not discord. Third, cooperation not individualism. Fourth, development of every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Let us start with the first principle, that is science not rule of thumb. Science, has name is science. It states that whatever principle of management is there, it must be on the human behavior. So all the humans has their behavior is not alike. It must be having some scientific cause and effect relationship. If different managers follow their indigenous rules of thumb, it is obvious that all would not be equally effective. Taylor believed that there was only one best method to maximize efficiency. This method can be developed through scientific study, and it should substitute rule of thumb throughout the organizations. Scientific method involved investigation of traditional methods through work study, unifying the best practices and developing a standard method which would be followed throughout the organization. According to Taylor, even a small activity like loading and unloading raw material can be scientifically planned and unmanaged. This can result in tremendous saving of human energy as well as wastage of time and materials. So according to this principle of Taylor, he insists that whatever managers are following the indigenous rules of thumb, it is obvious that all would not be equally effective. As what is ingenious rule of thumb? It is that whatever we have learned through the book, it is not like that practically also it will be applicable in the same form. It will be differ from place to place, person to person. So manager must always try to understand the situation and the circumstances, and then they have to make the rules and discipline what they have to make the work to be done, so that they can achieve the objective of organization. He also emphasized that one best method to maximize the efficiency. For a single work, many methods are there, many different ways are there. This method can be developed through scientific study, and it should substitute rule of thumb. The method must be one which can be applied on all the people instead of that method which is applied by one individual. Scientific method it involves deep investigation of traditional methods. It means it had made some scientific studies regarding to how the work can be done instead of what others have thought and they had did the work. Second principle is harmony, not discord. Harmony means synchronization of efforts. As one person, when they go for singing song in a group, first the thing which must be there in group song must be the harmony, so that the different sounds will not be there, the sound will match and the song can be understand. Factory system of production implied that managers served as a link between the owners and the workers. Since as manager they had the mandate to get work done from the workers, there always existed the possibility of a kind of class conflict between the managers and the workers. Taylor recognized that this conflict helped none the workers, the managers, or the factory owners. He emphasized that there should be complete harmony between the management and workers. Both should realize that each one is important. To achieve this state, Taylor called for complete mental revolution on the part of both management and workers. I want to make this point much more clear. In an organization, there are two main groups. One is the management group and one is the workers group. Both the groups are, though they are working for a common objective, but they are different in their thinking and way of working. But they have to unite it so that they can achieve the target and the objective. To remove the dispute between them, conflict between them, Taylor helped the workers and managers or the factory owners. He emphasized that there should be complete harmony. First of all, they must unite together, that is, a manager and workers. Then only they can help to achieve the target and they can make the organization goal to be achieved. So that is the principle that was made: harmony, not discord. The next principle, before the next principle, the thing is mental revolution. The student must understand what do you mean by mental revolution. To get harmonized relation, Taylor stressed on mental revolution, that is complete change in their mental outlook. As the person will be coming with a fresh mind without any stress and tension, the person will be able to focus on the target. It means that management and workers should transform their thinking. Both should give up their attitude of opposition and enmity towards each other and should have a positive feeling for each other. According to Taylor, true interest of the management and workers are one and the same. Prosperity for the employer cannot exist for a long time unless it is accompanied by prosperity for the employees and vice versa. For example, instead of fighting over distribution of profit, they must focus attention on increasing it. For this, workers should work hard to raise the profit and management should share the increased profit with workers. So this was a mental revolution. They must give some type of program. They might increment the salary of the workers so that their interest will be towards the work, and this way the relation between manager and the workers will also become good. Cooperation, not individualism. The third principle made by Taylor. It is an extension of principle of harmony, not discord. Competition should be replaced by cooperation. Both should realize that they need each other. For this, management should not close its ears to any constructive suggestions made by the employees. They should be rewarded for their suggestions which result in substantial reduction in cost. They should be part of management, and if any important decisions are taken, workers should be taken into confidence. At the same time, workers should desist from going on strike and making unreasonable demands on the management. In fact, when there will be open communication system and goodwill, there will be no need for even a trade union. So that is a principal cooperation, not individual. Managers, they have to help the workers in their work, and the workers also have to focus on the organizational goal instead of thinking about their personal goal. The fourth principle of Taylor is development of each and every individual to its greatest efficiency and prosperity. According to Taylor, industrial efficiency depends largely on personal competencies. Hence, worker training is essential to learn the best method developed as a consequence of the scientific approach. Taylor was of the view that the concern for efficiency could be built in right from the process of employee selection. Managers provided training and supervision to ensure the most efficient way of working is used. Each person should be scientifically selected, then work assigned should suit his/her physical, mental, and intellectual capabilities. To increase efficiency, training is required, and efficient employees would produce more and earn more. So students, this was the principles of Taylor made by the Taylor. According to this principle of Taylor, he says that employees are the biggest asset of any organization. If the employees are good enough, they can make the organization to reach to the top level. So if the organization wants their development, first of all they must try to develop each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity, so that employees development can make the later the organization's development. So thank you for today's class. The next class we will be going to learn the techniques of Taylor.